cup of coffee and some yogurt and granola for breakfast. Hi guys, it's me, Jess Marie. Welcome back to one of my videos. Welcome to a week in my life. Full-time Orange Theory fitness coach, but currently on maternity leave because I gave birth to our first baby a little over 2 weeks ago. Today is Monday, April 8th. It's a little after 10:30 and the baby's gonna get up here in just a bit to eat again. We're trying to keep him on a schedule of eating every 2 hours during the day. That way he sleeps a little longer at night, and it seems to be working out pretty well considering he's only a little over 2 weeks old. But I will say the past 2 nights have been a struggle. Just getting him to go to sleep at night has been a struggle. Granted, the past 2 nights were WrestleMania, so we were awake still, and I think that was kind of confusing him because he's used to us kind of going to bed and the house being completely silent at a certain time. And if you saw my vlog last week, I mentioned how I wanted to make him his own little onesie for WrestleMania, and I made it and it looked super cute, except that night he was so fussy and just kept spitting up everything. I just think he was so tired and he wouldn't fall asleep because, like I said, we were up late, we had some friends over, and I think just the loudness was kind of throwing him off and he just couldn't fall asleep. So I kept thinking he was hungry and I'd keep feeding him, but I think I was overfeeding him because he just spit up everywhere. So that was really sad. And then last night wasn't as bad. He didn't spit up at all because I knew not to overfeed him, but he struggled to fall asleep. We're starting to give him a pacifier at night every now and then when we feel like he needs it, and he just kept spitting it out and it was a whole thing. But I think tonight we're gonna try to give him a bath and try to start getting him into a better nighttime routine instead of just randomly putting him in his bassinet and being like, all right, it's bedtime. We're gonna try to stick to the same time. But anyways, ready to start the week. Nothing crazy planned, actually nothing planned at all. I literally sat down to go through my planner and I'm like, I have nothing planned because with the baby, all he does is eat, sleep, and poop, literally. And I feel like I can't leave the house longer than a certain amount of time because then he starts getting fussy and he wants to eat because he eats every 2 hours right now. So I do plan on taking him to the park. Last week I started taking him to the park almost every single day, and it's just nice for both of us to get outside. I can start moving around, and yeah, it's been great. This weekend Justin actually went with us and we walked over 3 miles and it was incredible. Very hard, but I wasn't as sore as I thought I would be considering I haven't done any activity in a while. But yeah, it was really nice. So I'll definitely do that. I have some laundry sitting on the couch that I need to fold, some laundry in the dryer I need to fold, and then I think I want to start 2 more loads of laundry. Last week I feel like I did so much laundry, but really we were just playing catch up. But now so far all we have is some baby stuff to wash, and I want to wash our sheets because I try to wash them every week. I do have to also empty the dishwasher, but that's one of those tasks that I feel like I do every couple of days. I think at some point this week I'll have my mom come over and help me with these little handprint things. We have this picture frame that has a place for a footprint and a place for handprint, so I think I'll do the baby's little prints before he gets super big. I feel like he's grown so much already. I mean, he has grown so much already. I took him to his 2-week appointment last week and he's now 8 pounds instead of 6, which is what he was when we brought him home. And he's definitely filling out his newborn clothes, which makes me really sad because the day he grows out of them is the day that I'm really gonna cry, because I look at him now, I'm like, I can't believe you're 2 weeks old, and then I get emotional. But before the baby wakes up, I'm gonna try to knock out this laundry and maybe empty the dishwasher, but I only have 30 minutes, well, 20 minutes now before I have to feed him. So if you're not already, be sure you subscribe down below and let's get this week started. See, this is just a tiny bit of clothes I have to fold, and then here just some towels that I'll go ahead and pull out. a little after 4, just got home from the park and going to Publix. The baby was a little fussy this morning, but I think it's because he's going through a growth spurt. Pediatrician last week said he should be going through one coming up, and I googled it and it said between 1 and 3 weeks. So he could be going through right now, and that could be why he's been a little fussier at night. But I did notice today he just did not want to be put down, and as soon as I'd put him down, he would just start crying. So at the park, he just slept the entire time, and I walked about 4 miles up until it was time to feed him again because I knew I wanted to go to Publix. So I literally fed him in the car before I left the park. That way I could run to Publix, and here I am. But at the store, I just got a couple things we needed for dinner tonight. We're having tacos, so I just got some Doritos, because that's what we eat our tacos with. Got some taco sauce, and of course 2 packs of ground beef. I got 2 just because when we have leftovers, I could just eat it for lunch the following days. And then just some random things. I got some more pads because still bleeding down there, and you can't wear a tampon for 6 weeks. So, and then just for some cravings, I got a Milky Way and a Snickers just because I've been wanting it. But yeah, just gonna put this away, straighten up the kitchen just a little, just because there's a few things that just need to be put away. And then I think I'm gonna make a little protein smoothie just as a little afternoon snack and to give me more protein. So my go-to smoothie, just this mango berry mixture and this vanilla protein powder, and then I'll just add some water and mix it up. Beautiful. He'll have to eat again in about 20 minutes, so I'm just gonna let him lay there, and I'm gonna start editing this video. That way I kind of stay on track with it. Happy Tuesday vlog. It is almost 2 o'clock and I'm finally picking up the camera. Woke up at 10, fed him, and then Justin's grandparents came over for literally like 15 minutes just dropping off lunch and saying hi to the baby. And ever since they left, it's been kind of a struggle with the baby, just trying to get him to go back to sleep. He was up from 10:15 till 1:51 when I just laid him in his bassinet, and hopefully he stays asleep. I think he keeps getting overly tired, and when he gets overly tired, it's a struggle for him to fall asleep. So I think that's what the issue was. He fell asleep a little bit with me holding him, then I'd set him down and he'd start crying, so I just kept holding him. But I finally was able to put him in his bassinet, and he seems like he's good right now. So while he's asleep, I'm gonna start the day by bagging some milk. I did this last week and I have a whole jar again. I think I'm gonna do 3 bags again because that's how much 1 mason jar of milk got me last week, if I believe. And once I finish this, I want to wash our sheets just because they really need to be washed. Yeah, those are the only 2 tasks I want to get done today, so I'm gonna quickly do this. That way I can just chill, and then if the baby wakes up, I can just pick him up and hold him while he sleeps if he needs to. If you saw my vlog last week, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm gonna put 5 ounces in these bags, even though they go up to 6. I'll pour the milk in the mason jar into this measuring cup, so I can pour it into here to make it easier to get exactly 5 ounces. Then I'll pour this into the bag, and on this bag I'll put 5 ounces and today's date, because this is when I'm freezing it. 5 ounces in April 9th. Very full. Exactly 5 ounces. And there we go. 1 mason jar gives me 3 bags. And now I officially have 7 bags in the freezer. Putting these in a Ziploc bag for now, just in case it happened to leak a little. Now I'll wash our sheets. I would also really like to vacuum, and normally I do run the vacuum around him while he's in the bassinet just so he's used to loud noises, but since he's been struggling to sleep and he's finally asleep, I'm not gonna run the vacuum right now. I'll just do it a little later. And in the meantime, back to the computer and kind of sort of watching Criminal Minds. Look at me, out of bed, fed the baby, and making coffee by 9:30. And I also got dressed by 9:30 in the morning, so pretty good start to the day. I'm trying not to stay in bed till 10:30, 11, because then I feel like my day is literally gone. And yeah, it just feels good to get out of bed a little earlier today. It also helped that I bathed the baby at about 7:30, fed him around 8, and had him in bed at 8:30, so we were able to get in bed at 8:30, and he was up again at 10, but it was nice to be in bed nice and relaxed by 8:30. Yeah, today is Wednesday, April 10th, halfway through the week, and I feel like this week has just been the longest week, honestly. I don't want to crying camera all the time, but I do want to hold my emotions accountable because like I've mentioned in my videos before the baby was here, I'm very nervous about postpartum depression. So I'm trying to journal all the time because that's what I did before, and my mental health even before having a baby wasn't the best. But yeah, definitely going through this whole postpartum experience, I just want to make sure I talk about things and to also show the real side of postpartum, I guess, and not just little snippets of everything that I'm doing. I think at the forefront of my brain is that I feel really guilty for kind of how I've been thinking of things and how kind of yesterday went. I think I even mentioned it when I picked up the camera. I was like, baby wouldn't sleep unless I was holding him or rocking him, and I finally got to put him down so I could do some house chores. And then I saw a post last night that said your baby isn't going to be this little forever, so just wait on the house chores if you can and just hold your baby. And that's literally what I should have done, because obviously the milk had to be canned, but whatever I did after that, washing our sheets, I mean, I guess that needed to be done, but I could have waited and done that when Justin was home, or asked somebody to come over if I really needed to get it done. Instead, I felt the urge to get it done because I felt like I didn't do anything all day, and I just feel like I need to be patient with myself and not put this pressure on myself to do all of these things. And so many people have said, if you want help with cleaning the house or whatever, let me know and I'll come over. And it's not even that I need help doing them, it's just something that makes me feel like I've had a productive day instead of just sitting, feeding, and holding the baby, which that is productive in his newborn life, you know? This packet that the pediatrician gave me says that every time I nurse the baby, I should be holding him even more. That way he doesn't just think of me as a milk machine. So I just feel guilty for that, and I'm thinking today a little different. I held him for a really long time this morning and then put him down just so I could get some coffee and make some breakfast, get dressed, all the things. Another thing I'm feeling guilty about is not appreciating my bump at all until the last few weeks. I feel like I was so insecure with my body. I hated when people made comments about it, which you shouldn't even make comments about people's bodies in general, even when they're pregnant. Some people would tell me, oh, you don't even look pregnant, thinking that they were making me feel good, and I would even say thank you, but I'm growing a baby. Why would I say thank you? Like, obviously I wanted to look pregnant, but then at the same time I didn't want people to comment on how pregnant I looked. It's just a whole thing. Just don't comment on people's bodies. But I feel like because I am bigger chested, have a higher body fat percentage, and it was my first pregnancy, it did take a while for me to start showing, and so like I get it, but at the same time I just don't comment on people's bodies. That's why I would just keep hiding it. And even at my baby shower, I got these big sweatshirts that way no one could comment on it, and now looking back, I wish I appreciated my bump at any size when I had it, because now I don't, and now I feel sad. And it really is this weird, not alone, but kind of lonely feeling not having the baby inside you anymore, because I remember the first couple of nights being home, I would turn on my side and lay literally how I laid when I was pregnant, and I put my hand on my stomach, and I just remember when I was pregnant always feeling the little kicks or the little movements, and now I don't feel them anymore, and it does make me really sad actually. But then I look at this baby that's here with us, and I appreciate him so much, and I'd so much rather him be here with us than inside me, of course, but I miss him being inside of me where he was on mine, like I knew I would feel. Bouncing off of that, I am feeling guilty for how slightly annoyed I'm getting at visitors, only because anytime someone comes over, I start feeling so anxious when they're holding my baby or flipping him around or passing him around. It's like people only come over just to see the baby, which I totally get because it's a new baby, they want to see him, but it's like they won't leave until they can hold him. Even if he's sleeping or even if he needs to eat, they literally will wait just so they can hold him. And I'm trying to be understanding and grateful that they love him so much, but it's just a lot. And yeah, my camera's about to die, but just a little mental health check-in, a little rant to start our Wednesday morning. Just got the package I ordered last week from Amazon, this little ornament that I'll probably do tomorrow because my mom's gonna come over anyway to do these little handprint footprint little picture frames I got. Then this, my grandma told me I should have got this before or put one on my registry, and I said I didn't want it, but now I feel like I need it. This baby musical mobile thing. This, of course, will go over his crib eventually, and hopefully over his bassinet now. Got these little zoo animals. Jack is so interested. What is it? Right. Directions. Need that. Step 1. Insert the upper arm into the lower arm. Step 2. Attach the lower arm securely to the crib rail and tighten the wheel clockwise. It's definitely made for cribs, but hopefully this stays on there and doesn't fall off. And this says that it's recommended to put by their feet, that we can look at it better. Having this on here makes it really heavy, so I'm gonna probably not put it on there. Yeah, this is definitely made for a crib because this thing completely comes off and it hooks underneath here, obviously, like it is now. So I'm gonna try to figure out how I can get it on the bassinet somehow, or I'll figure something out to put it on the dresser or something. And then this also came with it to cover up this thing if we want it. It is now 3:30, not making it to the park today just because it'll put me right in the 5 o'clock traffic. So running some errands just to get us out of the house, stopping at the grocery store to get stuff for dinner, and then I think I'm just gonna walk around the neighborhood for at least 30 minutes. That way I get some movement in. Definitely bumpier around the neighborhood. Happy Thursday. It is 8:47. I woke up in a much better mood than I did yesterday. So baby's in his bouncer just so I can make some coffee and breakfast. And then honestly, I think today is gonna be a lazy day. It's a nice rainy day, so it gives me an excuse to not want to leave the house. But I do have to leave the house at some point today just to go to the post office to drop off our tax stuff because taxes are due really soon and they sent ours back because we needed more signatures. So I just have to do that. I might run to the store because there's one more thing that I need, but I can honestly get by without getting it right now. Breakfast this morning, of course, yogurt and granola. I keep switching between this and a bagel, but I feel like this is so quick. It gives me that protein. A couple other things on my to-do list today that I'm not going to stress about, but I'm just going to get them done when I can get them done. I want to empty the dishwasher because everything is clean and just needs to be put away. I can start some laundry because our laundry basket is getting a little full with some clothes, so I can wash those. And then I want to go in the baby's room and possibly put together his little tummy time mat. We've just been doing tummy time on our couch or him on our chest, but we do have this little mat that's Finding Nemo and it's super cute, and so I might pull that out and try to put it together and see kind of how he does on that. And then I also want to pull out the 2 little fingerprint picture frames that I have because my mom is going to come over at some point today and help me do his little handprints. While I'm in here, I will go ahead and do the dishwasher. Oh, there we go. Look at you. It's a bit later, it's now 6 o'clock. Justin's aunt just left and she just dropped us off these meals and I am so excited. We're gonna eat this for dinner tonight, some chicken tacos, and she even brought us some toppings and some rice. And then tomorrow we're gonna do the Asian beef with some rice and vegetables. And then for lunch, I have some chicken and dumplings. So excited. My mom also came over to help me try to do these little print things and they did not really turn out. We started running out of ink, this little inkless thing, and this is the best one we got of his little foot, but it took us many attempts and it was just very easy to smear. So I did see I have this one that the ink actually gets on him, so I might try to do that. And we also have 2 other cards that I can hopefully try to do it for those, and I'll just use that. Got out the baby carrier today. Not 100% confident that I have him in here correctly, but he seems fine. He's literally asleep right now and I keep kind of adjusting the straps as I need. But happy Friday. It is almost 8:30. I just had him in this so I can make some breakfast, and I might even keep him in this while I do some laundry. I just have to put some laundry away. But then a couple other things on my agenda to do today is to possibly take some at-home newborn pictures, because another thing on my list of things I'm feeling guilty about is the fact that I said no to newborn pictures in the hospital. I just said no because I didn't think the pictures were going to be that great, and I'm pretty sure they asked on that crazy Saturday when we had so many visitors, so many checkups for him. It was just a crazy day that I was saying no to any other extra thing, and now I regret it because we don't have any nice pictures of him as a newborn. So I took my maternity pictures at home and I think they turned out okay, so I'm hoping I can get at least a couple good pictures of him. And I might try to do his prints today by myself. That might be a little bit of a struggle. Other than that, I definitely want to go on a walk either around our neighborhood or take him to the park or take him to the lake again like I did last Friday. But I keep getting notifications from the weather app that there's some lake wind advisory, so taking him to the lake might not be the best idea. But yeah, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a really good Friday and I'm excited. Happy 3-week birthday to my little baby. Really crazy. Yeah, definitely need to put this away now because Miley is making herself way too comfy. And while I'm putting this laundry away and possibly going ahead and putting on some makeup for the day, I'm gonna start listening to a podcast. I got so behind on all my podcasts, which is a good problem to have because there was a time where I didn't have anything else to listen to, and now there's tons for me to listen to. So finally started listening to them on my walks, a little bit in the shower, and yeah, just finally catching up on my podcasts. So my at-home newborn pictures did not really turn out. It was a lot more difficult than I realized it would be with me by myself and having a fussy baby. So my sister's fiance is actually a photographer, so in a couple weeks I'm gonna get with him, have him come over, and we'll take some professional family pictures, and I'll be really happy with those. I'll insert some pictures of what my inspiration is and what I was trying to do, but like I said, because he was kind of fussy and I was by myself, I ended up just taking pictures very similar to my maternity pictures, and I'm actually really happy with how they turned out. I'm glad that I got dressed up, put on some more makeup than I have been, and it's just cool to see the bump first baby picture. So I wanted to end this video by kind of talking about how this week went. Filming this part of the video, I'm actually from the future. It is Tuesday, April 16th when I'm sitting right here, and now that I've had time to process with how last week or this week when you're watching this video went, I think the overall theme of the week was I was just very overwhelmed. I think all the adrenaline from having a new baby and going through delivery and all that, it kind of faded, and I was sitting there with this crying baby all day not knowing what to do, and as a first-time mom trying to figure everything out, it just was very overwhelming. So feeling a lot better this week, figured out the whole baby wearing situation, so if I do feel the need to move around the house and he's being clingy and wants to be on me, which he has been this week, but I honestly love it now that I figured out the baby wear. Like I was saying, it makes it so much easier to move around, do things, and plus he's getting that skin to skin time on me like he needs to anyway. And yeah, feeling a lot better. So over the weekend I did actually come up with an entire list of things I thought were making me overwhelmed, and I just wanted to share them just because I want to share everything that's going on in my head right now. So in no particular order, like I said, trying to figure out what was wrong with my baby was freaking me out. I just wanted to make him feel better, and I think we figured out what it was. Pretty sure it was gas, because we started giving him these little drops when he needs them, and he's been fine. The pressure I'm kind of feeling with everyone asking me if he's sleeping through the night, if I've taken him out places, if I've done all these things with him even though he's just a couple weeks old, it's been stressing me out. The thought of him getting sick because he's so little and being around all these people and taking him to all these places, that is freaking me out. The thought of not being able to stick up for myself or my baby or whatever is freaking me out, because I thought becoming a mother I would grow a backbone, and I feel like I haven't yet. Not that I've really been in many situations so far that have made me uncomfortable. There are definitely times where I start feeling anxious and I don't speak up, or with my whole labor and delivery process, there are certain things I should have said and I never did, and now I regret it. Bouncing off of that, how my labor and delivery went stresses me out because it was not really how I wanted it to go, and I just should have spoken up more. Everyone grabbing my baby since he was literally hours old really overwhelms me. Thought of going back to work, even though I plan on going back the end of May, so I still have over a month. I'm still getting really sad about having to leave him, even though it's only a couple of hours, and everyone keeps saying it'll be good for me, and I'm sure it will, but I'm just really sad to think about having to leave him. And it's also crazy because when I was pregnant, I literally cried because I had to even leave work, and now here I am crying because I don't want to go back to work. Still establishing breastfeeding is a little overwhelming, only because sometimes he doesn't get a good latch right away, and I feel like we'll get in a good schedule, but it's hard going somewhere or having people come over. It's just hard when him and I are both still trying to learn it. The thought of pumping milk for bottles stressed me out, only because breastfeeding is so interesting. There's just a lot that goes with it, and adding pumping into the mix is a whole other thing that I'm gonna have to figure out when the time comes. Having a literal child to take care of now is very overwhelming. The thought of having a second child one day overwhelms me, even though we don't plan on doing that for at least a couple of years. Just seeing how the newborn stage is, I don't know if I could do the newborn stage with a toddler or with a whole other child that I'm also trying to give all my attention to. But I don't even need to think about that right now. So started going a little bit out of order from what my list was. So I think I said everything. Those are just a few things that are making me feel overwhelmed. A lot of them rightfully so, but there are some things that I'm just getting way too much in my head about, and I know. But yeah, this week was definitely a crazy one. So far, the week that I'm in right now, the week of April 16th, things have gone much smoother. So being a first-time parent, things really are just trial and error, and we will learn as we go, and some weeks are gonna be good, some weeks are gonna be bad, and yeah, taking y'all along the journey for all of it. So if y'all already, be sure to subscribe down below, and thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me rant if you made it all the way to the end.